Dan kalau kata kiranya soalan itu memerlukan kita tulis surat, format surat itu akan dikira. Kalau ia memerlukan you all untuk buat ceramah je, ataupun ialah give a talk, okay, maknanya ada salutation, okay, bentang kat board dan sebagainya, that semua tu akan ada di situ. So format another 5. Okay, another simple format yang kita bagi untuk keseluruhan ialah any simple particular essay, maknanya ada introduction dia, and then there's the body of the content, okay, and then there's the conclusion. Alright. Now kalau soalan panjang senang, actually soalan panjang senang. Yang susah soalan pendek. Okay, soalan pendek yang susah ni. Alright. Kalau soalan panjang-panjang dia akan ada beberapa layers. Okay. Biasanya macam saya design soalan, dia ada beberapa lapisan-lapisan yang kita buat. Dan lapisan yang kita buat tu, antara yang pertama tu kita start dengan pernyataan. Okay, according to the New Herald Times 2022, the world economy is having a glut with containers. Stop. Soalan tanya lagi, dia tanya explain how this scenario happened, okay, and how to overcome this issue. Okay, so dalam soalan tu maknanya ada beberapa bahagian. So the first one start dengan you punya statement dalam soalan tu. So what do you do with the statement? Do you agree or do you disagree with what's going on? Is that something not true or maklumat tak berapa betul? Okay, so you have to make a stand there. Okay, on the first part. So in your introduction nanti, that is for the first part. The first paragraph tu, yang first yang tanya soalan tu, that statement tu, you make your stand. Whether this is a true scenario or not or whatsoever, you make your own conclusion there. Okay. Now, then move to the next part. Dia tanya, why did this happen? Okay. So you talk about the chronology, how the thing happened, what was in place, what happened, this that. Fish. But then there's another part of the story, the question, kan? The last portion. That last portion you can reserve it as your conclusion. Okay, you can reserve it as your conclusion because it's asking about how would you overcome it. Okay, now overcoming ni ada sometimes good or wrong, the good or bad the situation. Sometimes the answer is clear cut, kita dah tahu. Okay, dia ada yang orang dah discuss dan sebagainya. Memang that's the only steps how we can actually solve the problem. Okay, but sometimes it's just about your normal logic, sense, understanding. Okay, how would you overcome? So maknanya soalan jawapan itu ialah jawapan bonus. Whatever you write, as long as it's logically sound, it's acceptable. Okay, so tidak ada perlu menghafal kat situ sangat. It just goes about how you write the whole discussion. Now, saya nampak for the past few years I've been teaching the subject. I've started to see a few patterns that a bit worries me. And this pattern, if it's not being tackled now, you are going to carry this problem sampai di hujung. Okay, I have already started to hear among young managers yang baru naik pangkat jadi manager, banyak komplain pasal youngsters sekarang ni yang baru masuk kerja cannot write report. Okay, why? Because most of the time you guys like to do point form. Okay, you just like to do point form. Doesn't explain anything, it carries no meaning. Okay, so it has to have some meaning. Okay, so being in this corporate sector in this kind of time, it is definitely that you must have the know-how to write reports. Okay, now reports will differ, okay, from time to time. Okay, now for the last many years that you have been learning, okay, Your understanding, it's okay. Okay, your understanding of a report can be a long report, can be a short report, right? Okay, and let me reintroduce to you. Okay, when you go into corporate sector and you're writing short memos or you're writing to your bosses, proposal or whatever, they like it to be concise. It has to be very sharp, straight to the point. What are you talking about? Okay, how much does it cost? What's the timetable date? What's your means of planning? When is the first ground break, and then progress, first delivery of payment, second, fourth, and on until the project is completed. Okay, there should be some table of graphs or whatever. Okay, so it's very, very concise. So it means that when you write your reports for your managers, senior managers, they are not looking for 10-page like your thesis. Okay, they are looking very sharp, straight to the point, maximum 2 pages. Maximum. Okay, now I used to be in the corporate sector before, and I've learned that there's a lot of companies that those companies with so many holding companies, they even ask you to really concise. I used to understand the one with Petronas, the report that goes to the managing director, is just hardly about 1 paragraph. Activity for the last 6 months. 6 months activity, 1 paragraph. Your whole entire company, not one section, one entire company. The HR, the operation, the finance, the accounting, everything, all compiled. That's it. Okay? And these people don't have the kind of patience that you do. Okay? And those days, now the kind of bosses that I have go through, I don't think you guys will go through all that anymore, because they are mostly your grandpa. Okay? Mostly your granddad. So when I say that, those CEOs, they are mostly English teachers. So he or she will keep correcting grammars, looking for mistakes, whatever. Oh, you miss a dot here. Oh, no comma here. Oh, no capital here. No question mark. No, what's this? The statement, question, what is it? English teacher. Okay? That's the old CEO. The modern day CEO, you have to pitch him or her the idea within 2 minutes. If she or she does not buy your idea, forget it. Scrap. Next person present. I don't like your idea. Move. So you have about 2 minutes to sell your idea. Okay? Just hardly about 2 minutes. That's it. Okay? So it's very tough. Okay? So when you go into corporate sector, there's a whole bunch of skill that you need. Not only what you have been learning so far, okay, what you've been learning so far, but then there's also the computer skills. I heard recently a lot of corporate sectors are complaining again, saying that you guys don't have the computer skill literacy, competency, how to play on. Worst case is Excel. How many of you know how to play with Excel? Microsoft Excel? Never used the stuff before? One fellow je. Orang lain tak pernah guna. What kind of things you do? Okay, you're doing accounts. Okay, fine, good. Other than that? Okay. Yeah, it's a spreadsheet, definitely. Most people will start saying, okay, when it's talk about Excel, it has to be numbers. You've got to do a lot of crunching, number crunching. But somehow or other, you cannot run away with that. Because when you want to evaluate a project, okay, if somebody starts to come to you, say that you are a trucking company, okay, you're a trucking company, and you've got this new project. Somebody says, look, sir, I have size of 15 containers to move from Terengganu to Kuantan. Okay, on a daily basis of what, 2 weeks. Can you do math whether this project is going to be worthwhile taking or not? So your boss will definitely be asking you whether this project is viable, the company can make profit out of it or not. So that's most of the time that you'll be using your spreadsheet. You will got to know whether what they are proposing is actually something you can make money on. So definitely, yeah, you have some basic accounting, good, you know how to do it. But there are some other tools that you got to do that doesn't really know or just go with accounting, like what if analysis. Okay, what if analysis. Okay, you want to find out, say, whether a person has completed the number of training required. Okay, you have your entire staff from A to Z, okay, all the floors, from the lowest right to the top, and you want to find out those people with less certificates and those have already gone for some courses or whatever that have been paid by company, whether they are in line or not for promotion. Okay, do they have what it takes to be promoted? So you go to need Excel as well. Okay, make decision on that. So you got to know how many certificates this fellow have, how many courses he have attended, okay, what experience has he got, okay. So those kind of things, you need to do simple analysis with Excel. You can do that, okay. You can do that with Excel. So far, a lot of people start thinking, oh, Excel is only just about money. Yeah, true. But there are other sides of that you can do, okay, besides money, like making other decisions, okay, making other decisions other than just looking at accounts, okay, whether or not this person has already done the required time, does he have completed the seat time, because there's a whole list of members working with the company, so you don't actually know. So you want to have some sort of database system that can actually recall immediately whether a person is already ready, available to go on the next ship, or is this person still on board another ship? What's going on? Okay, so those kind of information you really need. So anything that makes a database can help you a lot. Okay, anybody here use Access? Never heard of the stuff. Okay, Excel and Access, different thing. But if you know about Access, you know how to use and play with Excel. Excel is going to be a little bit easy for you. A little bit easy for you because you know how to build database. Okay, you know how to build database. Like people going on sick leave. Okay, people going on sick leave. How many times does the company allow? Okay, and you're in charge of running and maintaining the system. So you have like 50 staff working at one time. Okay, how do you know if A has already gone 5 times, or whether B has already exceeded his limit or her limit, or whatever in terms of has been she or he been hospitalized that that person cannot work anymore. Okay, so you need all those tools, okay, to use Excel. Okay, so this is among the things that I like to share. Okay, that's happening outside when you go for your LI. Okay, later on. Okay, they'll be asking you all of these questions. Do you know how to use Excel? Okay, this is where you need some exposure. All right. Okay. Going back to what's going to happen to you with the questions. Okay, you have 4 questions to answer, but actually I need you to only answer 2. Okay, answer only 2. You don't have to answer all 4. Okay. Soalan ni agak mudah. It's just asking about. I think question number 1 was asking about. He was asking about the container as being the greatest innovation invented. So how did it revolutionize the industry? Aha. How would you answer? How would you answer that question? If you're talking about Well, it's not exactly this. Something like this. It's something like this. Alright? The container, the greatest innovation after the wheel. What changes did it brought about to the modern world? So how do you answer this question? What is the question looking for? Any ideas? I know you're going to discuss anyway. So rather than letting you discuss and having all sorts of mumbo jumbo coming up, so I'll reduce the rojak a bit. Okay, let's turn the rojak into some sort of Caesar salad. Okay, something that's nice to be eaten, something edible. Okay, greatest innovation after the wheel. Wow, fantastic, groundbreaking scenario. So, what's so great about it? So if a person asks you, what's so great about containers? Means is asking about what? Is it asking about what is the container? Is it asking anything about what is the container? No, okay. I heard the word impact. Is it impact? I'm shocked. So you got the word. Some says impact. Let's try. Let's try first. Anything else? What pops up in your mind? What's so great about containers? You guys been learning about it. So what's so great about it? When people say, what's so great about it? What does it mean? Ta-da! What's so great about it? What's the advantages of containers? Okay, now you're on the right track. Has to be impact. It changes the world. So, somewhere along the line, this is correct. How do we change? Before containers, what was it like? What was the world like before we had containers? Aha. I know this is far-fetched, too much to be asking you, but you gotta know. You gotta know. When people say, what's so great about it? What happened? What changed? What changed? Is it some sort of mechanical marvels? Is it? Is it satu benda magic? Solves a lot of problems? No idea. Nothing? Okay, never mind. We'll keep that for you to find. At least, come on, advantages of the container. So, what advantage it has over container and without container? Huh? More load. Amount of load you can carry. Are you sure? Now, let me give you this analogy. First, you have sand. You have sand on the ground, and you carry it with your hands. Just scoop it, and you carry it. How much come back? Hardly a few grains. Now, you have a box. You put it inside a box. You carry the box, and you throw it to the other side, Compare that with the hand. Efficiency, right? Efficient. Efficient. Efficient to carry, yeah lah. I mean, let's face it, your hands and yeah, you can scoop it up, but it's not exactly compared to the box. The box is all sealed, nicely tied, nicely packed. So definitely it's way much more efficient. So less spillage, yeah, no spillage. Okay, so the amount of that you get to carry gets to be carried efficiently, smoothly, and faster. Safe pun okay juga. So you have that safe. At least 3 to start. Come on. Just a few more and you're just there. You can score this quickly. Okay? So, going back to this part again. So remember my analogy. Bare hands and the box. Okay? Old technology, no innovation, just your hands. So I have a small, big size hand. She has a small hand. She may have much bigger hand than me. So get people with bigger hands to do their job. So don't find people with dainty hands, small hands. If you have a box, doesn't matter. Just scoop it, put it inside the box, right? So what is before the box? What was life all about? How was life? Opposite. Slow. Time consuming. Spillage. 25. Okay, sounds logical, right? Sounds logical, right? It's easy. Okay, so the question is going to ask you about what rather than I keep asking you the questions of what is the standard procedure for cooling the container box? That you can look at any book. You can give out the same answer. Does your brain works? You just take the book and you just read it. Okay? It's just like making manuals, right? So somebody before this said that nowadays people don't need to memorize multiplication. Remember that? 1 times 1, 1 times 2, you did all that. You remember that one? Your mom said, up to 12. Okay? Your sister would get up to 12. Then you got to do up to 16. 16. She did 12. I did 16. Okay? So, the calculator is there. So, people nowadays move forward rather than having to remember mundane facts. Okay? So what you're going to see is that the world is going to move far ahead, and all those facts, they're just going to store inside the computer. Okay, they're going to store that in the computer, and whatever human or whatever being that crawls the world can at least read what the manual is all about. Okay, you don't have to actually remember all the nitty-gritty stuff every step of the way. Okay. So what is important for the young executives, which is you are, okay? Help make decisions, tactical decisions, how to improve efficiency, how to make sure safety is always in the minds of the workers. How do you make sure that the job is, remember the one people used to say about learning? Study smart, not study hard. Remember that one? Okay. So how do you do it? Okay. I mean, people out there that don't go to university, okay, they obviously don't go and learn all that. So they go through schools or some sort of training. They learn about procedures. Okay. If the SOP says about, okay, first step, push the red button. Not the blue, not the green, red. So, if a monkey can do that, so the next person should be able to do that. So, the rest of the people, they need to learn about procedures. But in doing procedures, sometimes you forget about these three things. Is it fast? Is it working smart? Is this safe? Okay? Is this efficient? And especially this word, people like to play this a lot. Okay? And people like to put $sign on this particular word. Okay? I hope I can relate myself to you. Don't ever fall for this. For safety is a requirement that everybody must take care. You've got to avoid looking at the dollars and cents. I know it's going to be a loss. A loss is definitely a loss. Okay? Somebody should start saying, hey, we can salvage this problem. Let's do that. So what if like 4 people die? What if it's just one fellow who dies? I think we can work with it. Are you guys okay with that? Okay. This is it's a study that was done in a university about how people justify that. Okay. It's a choo-choo train. Okay? It's a train. Okay? Well, the train is broken. Okay? It's running on the track. Okay? It's running loose on the track. And while it's running loose on the track, there are people working at the end of the track. Okay? There are people working at the track. Right? Then there is a siding. Okay? There is a siding where you have to make the decision. Now, if you push your train to the other end, the train will veer off. It will not hit all the 4 people working at the end of that particular line. So, but then, there's one guy working on this line. Okay? Show of hands. How many of you would agree? A, let's let it be. A to B, 4 people died. No? No? Sure. Okay. Okay, we'll do that. Alright. How many of you agree if we take the rail siding but only hit one fellow and he dies? How many of you agree? Hey, this is a life and death situation. It's a true situation, right? It's really happened. If you are faced with this situation, make the hard choice. I am asking again. How many of you would take the A answer? Let it go. Don't stop nature taking its course. Don't change anything. If it's supposed to ram for 4 people to die, 4 people die. It's okay. Or you can change the route, take this one, and only 1 person dies. How many people say A?
A group.
Okay, we have 1 person say A. Okay. B. Aha! Thank you very much. Aha. Okay. Now, I didn't say about C, right? I didn't say anything about C, eh? Now, the thing is, when this thing went broken, okay, there's the operator is actually stuck there with one fat guy who happened to be the first passenger there. Okay, you can save these people and these people, but you have to throw him out. You have to throw away that fat guy on that train. Okay? Again, answer A. Let nature take its course. Kill everybody down the line. A. B. Take that siding. Kill only 1 person. Or C. Kill that fat guy and stop and save all 5. What is your answer? The guy is on the train with you. So, is it a matter of just pushing it off the train and pushing the brakes and it's going to stop? And these people don't have to die and that person doesn't have to die. But this fat guy has to die. Well, this is where the way how our mind sees logic, how we want to get away with, we're putting $sign on the lives of these people. Okay? Same with these people. What if we never bought the train? What if we never got on the train? Never happened. Do we have that sixth sight? We know it's going to ram somebody, or it's just like you buy a plane ticket and then, this plane is going to be lost. You want to have that kind of premonition, then kebetulan tiba-tiba deja vu, everything. Get me out of the plane. Okay, you don't want to be that guy. Okay, you don't want to be that person. Okay, but this is where the mind starts to justify that. This is a real study. Okay, you can go online, try and find this the same case study. It's a case study. Okay, how the human mind tries to justify that. Okay, by having to make this kind of decision. Okay, so it's an option. Okay, look at things, but again, when the word safety is involved, okay, like you know the last load that you're going to put on your truck is going to be over limit, and you know that it's going to be dangerous for that particular driver to be carrying that much load. If it's not going to anything happen to him, it might be someone on the road might get it. Okay? And maybe any passerby crossing the road, or some small kid just happened to be at the curb just waiting, suddenly the truck just swerved to the side and hit the kid. Okay? So the mentality about safety has to be there in place from day one. Okay? So please, by any means, if safety becomes a concern, your boss doesn't want to listen to it, maybe you should think or rethink where you make your money. Okay? Where you earn your bread and butter. Okay? If you make your living, if you're just, you're just grad and you're not having, tak ada hutang rumah ke, kereta 3 biji ke, hutang PTBN lagi, and so on. So, walk away. But people who are having families, having debts, they cannot step up. They are the ones trapped with this kind of decision. Okay? They are the ones trapped with this decision. What to do with the last load? Okay? Now this scenario is still truth. Okay? That last load, because like I said, when you have the transport problem, okay, you cannot divide transport equally all the time. If one bus fits only 30 people, the 31st person, the cost is one more bus, just to accommodate for that particular person. So you have to buy another bus just to accommodate one more person. Satu bus belakang penuh, just seorang lagi, with only 29 seats empty. Okay? But that's the problem with transport. So same scenario here. Not all the time the load is equal to the size of the transportation. Never is. Okay? It never is. So this becomes a problem every time. There's a lot of people out there keep stepping the line saying that it's a gray area. Nobody dies. It's okay. We have the best driver. Okay? But what if he's bumped out or his luck just ran out? Okay? His luck just ran out. What can you do? Okay? So there's a lot of people out there stepping on the grey line. It's okay. Okay? And they will be the one consulting you. Say, tak apa. Don't worry about it. Kita selalu buat. Tak kena pun. JPJ tak saman. Polis tak cari. Not a problem. Everything okay. Okay? But don't forget, that is your signature down there that is signing that particular DO, releasing that truck, and the feds will be one looking for you. Not that guy saying, okay? Not that guy. You are the one signing that piece of letter. You are condemning the person to that life. Okay? So, if this is your regular routine, daily stuff, chores, think about it. But if you're in the army, okay, if you're a captain, if you're somebody senior in your rank, okay, and you may have to come up with that decision, that is a bit difficult. I cannot say it's the same thing because there's the issue of national security, okay, and other things to consider about, okay. Now, just the same scenario, just to share. How would you justify national security, okay, ketirisan, bocor rahsia maklumat sebagainya, is being done by one particular budak umur 9 tahun. Rahsia kerajaan tersebar because of a 9-year-old kid. So the government decided, say, well, it's up to you. You want to kill the kid? Or what do you want to do? National pride, national security, all your agents, all your secret work, everything there, base. Would it justify you to killing that kid? Okay? Would you justify that? So I'm not saying that you have to go through all that. So unless if you are in those kind of hot seats, you better go for enough training. Or you better say, they don't pay me enough to make that kind of decision. Okay? Okay, if somebody asks you about that kind of question, say, they don't pay me enough to make this kind of decision. Get somebody else to do it. I'm not the one doing it. Okay? Get someone else to do it. But somehow the people will start making that kind of decision and put dollar sign here, dollar sign there on the price of safety. Alright? So it's a tough choice. So in the realm of transportation, maritime, containers, you are also confronted with all these kind of dilemmas. Okay? Although they fall under the category of business ethics, people keep crossing the line every day. Is it okay for you to be doing that? Okay? Once or twice, yeah, okay, it's not so bad. But when it starts to eat you up piece by piece, and you start to lose your individuality, and you simply don't know who you are anymore, okay? You will lose all sense of humanity in you, and your kid won't even remember if you were ever human, okay? So if you're going to be a dad or mom that can have to make that kind of decision, you better think hard about it. How you're going to live through life without losing your insanity and without losing your humanity, okay? In the end, we're just humans, okay? We're just meant to walk around the earth and try to make some sense of this life, okay? So maybe what good we do today, maybe somebody else can benefit that. Hey, that's okay by me, okay? So what your definition is good? Well, that depends on you, okay? Which school of thought do you go through? Okay, so this is number one question. Number question, two question is more or less like that. Okay, break it down. Look at what he's trying to ask. Okay, any questions? Any questions? Questions? What questions? Well, you can ask questions. You can look by now. No problem. You can look at the question whether you can go back in and do it again. I'm not so sure about that. There's a sort of restriction. You can only take it once. So don't waste your precious time. You can only take it once. Once you dah buka, you masuk, you better finish it. Okay? No, download soalan and then nak masuk balik. It doesn't work. Okay? It does not work. Alright, nak bincang-bincang dulu. I know you're going to discuss but try to make good sense of it. Okay? Come up with a good answer. What's going on? Okay? Alright? Okay. Thank you very much. That's it. That's it. Ta-da! Go back home. The end is near.